So the topic of today's video is detangling. The hypothesis today is it better to detangle your hair when it is damp or when it is like soaking wet with conditioner? Because that's how you, that's how you normally see people detangling when they're like doing videos and stuff. So I say all that to say this is my kind of like experiment. Now, I know most experiments you need to do a whole bunch of trial runs and you need to have large sample sizes. Well, girl, it's just me and it's this one time. So, you take the results of this video with a grain of salt, but this is just me basically trying to at least kind of have some sort of evidence for one versus the other. So, if that sounds interesting to you, keep watching and we're going to jump right in. So, okay, so I'm about to start detangling this side. A couple of tips. This is something that I do regardless of if I'm detangling on dry hair or if I'm about to get ready to take a shower and detangle in the shower. But my philosophy is that detangling is a combination of multiple things, but the most important things are returning the hair to its stretched length, which is what I'm doing right here. Like I'm pulling out the shrinkage. And the second thing is removing shed hairs. So I focus on stretching the hair gently, of course. We don't want to cause no breakage. So I'm just basically running my fingers along the length of my hair, but I'm not really running my fingers through my hair, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're detangling this section. So, like I said, I'm gonna pick it out or pull the hairs down. And I do this in the shower too, but just in a different way. If you've ever watched my video, I watched a video, I'll do praying hands, and that's basically, it serves the same purpose, which is basically just returning the hair to its stretched length so that it's not shrunken. You don't want to try to detangle shrunken hair. So now that I have pulled the hair back down and it's pretty much stretched now, spray it with some water. So this is, I guess, kind of like a tutorial on how I detangle, but ultimately I'm doing this so that you can see what the difference, I guess. So now that I've added some water, I'm doing the same thing, smoothing out, and then some shed hairs are going to come out with this. So that's shed hairs. So like I said, my philosophy on detangling is this is shed hair, returning the hair to its stretched length and removing shed hairs. Once you do those two things, detangling becomes much, much easier. So like I haven't even detangled yet. I'm just stretching the hair and pulling out any shed hairs that kind of come loose without any real manipulation. All right, so I've added water. I'm gonna add a little bit. This is the Dove intensive repair conditioner that I was talking about. Add a little bit of that. Like, we don't want it soaking wet, we just want it damp. The idea behind it is that damp hair should be the best. Damp is the best state to detangle your hair, and that's because your hair is strongest when it's dry, but it is the easiest to manipulate when it's wet. So you would think that damp is the best of both worlds. So it's got some strength because it's not completely soaking wet, but it has some malleability because it's not completely dry. So we start from the bottom, and mind you, this comb didn't have any hair in it before, so that's another thing. And I won't clean it. I'll clean it out after I finish this left side of my head. just kind of run my fingers through like I can feel the balls of hair shrunking, so I'm just pulling them down, running them through my fingers. I'm not running my fingers through my hair, so I'm not detangling. I'm just pulling the hair downwards. And that just, you see this up here is much more stretched than this at the top because I haven't done this part yet. And I don't have any product in my hair. My hair is dry at the moment, but it works. So you can see the tangles are moving down my hair. Got some here in the back, so I'm gonna pull them down too. All right, and you can feel where the tangles are. So I can feel that all of the shrunken hair has moved down this way. So it's pretty good and stretched now, and I haven't even applied any product. So, spray bottle. I'm sure somebody is probably going to ask. I got this spray bottle in a gift box from African Pride, but they're called like continuous mist bottles, I believe, or continuous spray bottles. You can buy them like at Sally Beauty or something, like, or online. So work that conditioner in, and this is me. Let me scoot back, maybe you'll see it better. Uh-oh, my bad, y'all. Let me raise up some of them. There we go. Yeah, you can see that much better now. Okay, so I'm just removing shed hairs. I'm basically doing the same thing that I was doing earlier, but now that the hair is moist, shed hair is coming out while I'm doing that. Yeah. Off. There we go. Okay. Shed hair. And now I'm ready to detangle. So yeah, what works best for me is when I do this, a lot of the shed hair and tangles are moved from the top of my head to the bottom, and then it makes it much easier to just slowly and gently pick out the bottom. So we move the tangles. Finger detangle. If you feel like a section is like kind of difficult and you don't want to rip through it, that's when you come in with your fingers and break up the difficult section so that you don't lose too much hair. And then I'm going to twist it up. Alright, you guys, I am back. I have just finished washing and detangling the right side of my head, and then I washed the left side. And I'm just going to go ahead and jump in and give you my thoughts because it is currently 1 o'clock in the a.m. Central Standard Time where I am. So I'm ready to go to bed. But surprisingly, I think that I kind of have a tie. Like, I'm going to show you guys a side-by-side comparison of the hair that I lost on both the left side, which, to just jog your memory, is the side that I detangled on quote-unquote dry hair, and then the right side, which is in the shower. Okay, so as you can see on the left, I kept it the same way. So on the left is the amount of hair that I lost on the left side of my head, and on the right side of your screen is the amount of hair that I lost on the right side of my head. And the amounts look pretty similar, actually. Now, I do have to preface it by saying that wet hair and dry hair looks different. So wet hair can be a lot more compact than dry hair can be. So just based on that, I would say that I lost just a little bit more hair on the right side, because that ball of hair, if you can look at it, it is a lot more compact than the left side. So I mean, I don't have any scientific way of proving that. I can't count the number of hairs, but just by eyeballing it, it looks like I did lose just a little bit more hair, like a minuscule amount almost, a little bit more hair on the wet side. But I ended up spending a lot less time on the right side than the left. So the dry side took me about 45 minutes to detangle, whereas the side that I detangled in the shower took somewhere around 30 minutes, if even that, maybe a little bit less than 30 minutes. Because after I finished this side, then I ended up washing this side and showering and all that stuff. So just say 20 minutes, let's say that. So almost cut in half in terms of time. So let's just put everything together. I lost a little bit more hair in the shower, but my time is basically cut in half in the shower. So, I mean, it's kind of like weigh your options, and then you can kind of choose which one works best for you. I do want to preface this by saying one thing that I did do on the shower side that I sometimes don't normally do is what you saw me doing on the left side, when I was pulling my hair and pulling all the shed hairs out that I could, and really stretching the hair to get it nice and stretched. I did that on the side that I washed in the shower. I did that before I let any water touch my hair. Well, I used a little bit of water to stretch it, and then I washed, and that made a world of difference, y'all. So if you are experiencing a lot of hair loss in the shower, and you're not doing this, then this may be something that you want to try to start incorporating. Is take a little bit of time and really prep your hair for the actual water portion, because shrinkage plus water does not mix. Like, you don't want to wash shrunken hair. Like, it's a no-go. So you don't necessarily have to detangle your hair before you wash it, but you do need to at least do a little bit of pre-work before getting in the shower to stretch the hair as much as possible before you actually let any water touch it. I hope this was helpful to someone. If you do want to detangle on dry hair, which I do feel like there are certain times where that definitely is necessary, I just say make sure that you do that pre-work that you saw me doing. Make sure that you stretch your hair, and that's either dry or wet detangling. Make sure you do some sort of pre-work to stretch that hair and get it as stretched as possible before you let any water or any product touch your hair, and then you will cut down tremendously on any tangles, and then therefore that cuts down on breakage. So I hope this video helped, and if you have watched to the end, I'm not even sure how long this video is going to be, but if you have watched to the end, I want to thank you, and as a thank you, I'm going to do a quote-unquote secret giveaway. It's secret because it's on YouTube. And my YouTube is not as popping as Instagram, I'll say that. So if you have watched this far, I want you to go to my Instagram. I'm going to drop the name below, at Alicia No Keys. The first person to DM me and tell me you will get 2 full-size products from the Tropical Moringa, the Main Choice Tropical Moringa collection, and you will also get an Eco Styler unicorn gel, unicorn glitter gel. Yeah, so that's just my way of thanking you guys for supporting me and for watching to the end. Y'all gotta make sure y'all watch to the end, because you never know what you're gonna get, you never know what you're gonna miss. And yeah, I think that's just about it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Good night.